Here's what we need to talk about, though. And this is the thing. And if you have not followed the mayor's race, have you followed anything the last 4 years of the Eric Adams era? And I need to ask you about this because Eric Adams once was trying to get out of some trouble. And the quote he gave was, make sure the Dominicans know that Eric Adams is the only mayor to ever hang out at the clubs on Dykeman. And I was like, oh, man, this is like, he really made hanging out at spots that me and you might not go to. That was part of his mayoral strategy.
Fam, when I seen him smoking hookah with rappers, I said, we are cooked. This is over. It is over. Like, when he got elected, I was like, yo, y'all elected a party promoter to run the city. Good luck. Let's see how these next 4 years turn out. Ladies free before 11 at the Social Security office. Like, what is going on? This dude was a walking meme. Every city was the New York of that country. It was crazy. He had like 5 catchphrases. He hung out with Jim Jones. I'm like, yo, listen, I love Jim Jones. That's my guy. I don't want my mayor hanging out with Jim Jones. You know what I'm saying? There might be some bad influences going on there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to say this in fairness to Adams on the blank is the New York of blank that he did everywhere. This is very similar to how Instagram make it to where people got to spend way too much money on clothes because once they go on internet is on Instagram, it is there forever, and now you can't wear this anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened to him with this. We didn't always have access to all this video that you could run it in a line, and you could just spit that line over and over again, and it would be okay, right?
It kind of hit.
But once people were able to chop that up, that's like Kamala Harris had that one line, something about being unburdened, and they found out that she had been saying that all the time. Hey, man, if you got a line that works, you got a line that works. I've seen Dave Chappelle live 3 or 4 times, and I think every time I've seen him live, he has told the same joke where somebody made reference to a little something, shall we say, and they asked him to describe it, and it was referred to as it's delicious. And he was like, hey, that's not a way that I imagine somebody would describe that thing. He's told it every show I've seen him do it all over a course of 20 years. It was funny every time. Like, sometimes you get a line and it works, baby.
That's it. The only problem is that now we got the internet and we got digital video, and we got a lot of people that have editing skills and can make these things that we in the media industry call supercuts. You know what I'm saying? Of you saying the same thing over and over and over again, and then you become a living meme.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this, and I feel like you and I can both say this because we've been working in this business for a while, man. I feel like the people that be making them cuts is people that ain't never had to come up with a good line before. Like, it ain't that easy, guys, right?
Man.
Like, I think there's got to be somebody that, like a supercut guy that's like, nah, man, I know what they was going through. I can't even participate in this.
I'm out. You don't know what it takes to come up with Islamabad is the New York of Islamabad.
Like you say... Yeah, you say something funny, right? Like, that's what he's saying. You come up with something to make these people feel good, right? Like, what y'all got?
That's his opening joke. You got to let him have it.
Got to let him have it. He was amazing. And we also had the thing happen very recently where a woman put out a book that basically, I mean, it's hard times out here where you can get a book deal because you used to sleep with Eric Adams, which was the whole way that this woman got the book. But the thing was, it didn't make Eric Adams look bad. It actually made Eric Adams look good because she was kind of fine. And everybody saw that and was kind of like, damn, even Eric Adams, huh?
Bro, it was an absolute glaze fest, bro. I skimmed that shit and I was like, wow, Shorty's just glazing, homie. But, everybody trying to come up, get a bag. You know what I'm saying? I did a little digging myself. Shorty used to sing background vocals for Stagger Lee. So, if you're singing background vocals for Stagger Lee, man, then, you got bigger problems. So you're just trying to secure the bag, man. So you'll do anything.
Hey, look, man, I saw how Eric Adams got to be the mayor. Eric Adams, in that book, that woman said, Eric Adams looked at her and said, I'm going to be the mayor and I don't want to do it without you. She said they wasn't even doing the thing no more, and she signed up on that.
Well, I'll throw a flag on the play. I'll call Cap, whatever you want to do. Because the way Eric Adams be moving, he moved like a dude that's like, yo, unless, you know what I'm saying? I'm not claiming you. We're not doing nothing public until I see what that thing smell like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, well, no, he knew that, and then apparently they stopped. I think the surprise in this one is that Eric Adams is someone who actually can abide by, sure, we'll just be friends. That is not behavior that I would expect from Eric Adams.
Well, no. He is not doing that in the least, bro. He is like, yeah, listen, again, he's a club promoter. And you know what club promoters is trying to do? Give the pretty girl extra drink tickets. You know what I'm saying? Butter her up. You know what I mean? Finesse it. Get some like liquid lubrication popping. It makes you happy.
Did we find out that he was like down at Far Rockaway? And for people who don't know, Far Rockaway is far. That is the best way to describe far. Like
it's in the name.
I can get to my house. I can get from my house to Philly faster than you could get from where Mero grew up to Far Rockaway, and it's all in the same city, right?
That's a fact.
But he was
bro.
like, yeah, I used to have he's like, yo, I used to have a shorty down here. And then we looked it up. Nope, it looks like Eric Adams did, in fact. Like, Eric Adams is that dude that you can't believe nothing he says, except the one time you check into it, he did do the thing he said.
So then it fucks you up, and you're like, yo, wait a minute. What about the other stuff? Could it possibly be true? Was he really on tour with Jay-Z and Memphis Bleak in 2002? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never know.
That's the one danger about checking somebody you know who be lying. You got to make sure you get them on that lie.
Or else, you got a Fat Joe situation on your hands where it's just like, yo, the story sounds ridiculous, but then you got other people confirming it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, right? And once that person, Trump has the same thing too. Trump mess around and tell you some wild shit. And then next thing you know, it's kind of like when it turned out that Joe Biden did know a dude named Corn Pop. Like Corn Pop really was something. After that, man, we had to listen to whatever Joe Biden said.
Yeah, you had to listen to all that malarkey.
We thought you made it up. Yeah, right, exactly it. We thought it was malarkey. In fact, it was the real McCoy.
Corn Pop is vindicated.
But yes. Now, there's something else going on with this mayor's race. For those of you who don't know, and this becomes very interesting, is that Eric Adams is the mayor, and he was a Democrat, but he wasn't running as a Democrat because he was under indictment, and he got himself out from under indictment because he agreed to do Trump's bidding on the immigration stuff. So Cuomo, who was the governor and left in disgrace, he ran against Mamdani in the Democratic primary, and the expectation was very similar to Barack Obama in 2008. We were like, oh, come on, man. There's no way that this can go. Except Mamdani smoked Cuomo, right? We thought, and you knew it was bad because, look, Black people, we try not to vote for losers, and Cuomo was expected to win the Black vote. Nope, didn't happen. Black people was voting for Mamdani too, because Mamdani has this fascinating approach where he's just like, guys, you ever notice that shit costs way too much money? Isn't that wild? Yeah, vote for me. And we was like, hell yeah, we gonna vote for you. And so now it's the general election. Cuomo is running as an independent, and is another dude named Curtis Sliwa, who used to be homeboy that ran the Guardian Angels. So he'll be out here with a beret on, and he's running for the Republican nomination. And it's worth noting that Curtis Sliwa really hates Andrew Cuomo, right? Now, you may be asking yourself, why is a Democrat running against a Democrat? Because it has turned into a handicap match. Everybody is trying to make sure that Zoran don't get out of here. The big money don't like Zoran. The landlords don't like Zoran. People who are decidedly pro-Israel, they are not big fans of Zoran. Everybody is coming at Zoran, but the two dudes that are running against Zoran, the problem is Curtis Sliwa really hates Andrew Cuomo more than he hates anything else in this world. And I think that's the only thing that keeps him up in the morning is taking shots at Andrew Cuomo.
And I'll tell you one thing, Bo, this is not even a hot take. This is a lukewarm take. This is actually probably true. You know what I mean? I can say this with no facts or anything. It's my opinion, which is a fact. If Curtis Sliwa was not a Republican on the Republican ticket, I think him and Zoran would get along. You know what I'm saying? Because Curtis Sliwa, even though he's a Pixar character of New York City, the Disney movie,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like when they asked the perfect example to me was in the debate when they asked the question, have you ever gotten anything from a legal dispensary? And Mamdani was like, yes, I have purchased marijuana at a legal dispensary. And Curtis Lee was like, I got shot 5 times and I used marijuana to cure my pains. Yeah, so yes. And Cuomo was just like, nah. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right, one of these things is not like the other. You know what I'm saying? So I think Sliwa and Zoran in a cipher, they could get some things done.
Yo, real talk. Curtis Sliwa it's a somewhat Texas archetype, but I like my white guys white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to be, you don't need to be pretending like we got more in common than we actually do. Curtis Sliwa, I don't want to talk to him about everything, but I think I'd have a great time talking to him about everything else. My favorite part is it's the guy with the beret that's the Republican and the dude in the nice suit that's the socialist. Is that what you're telling me here? Because if I told you somebody over there is a socialist, you're picking the dude in the funny hat.
And the raspberry beret, of course.
Yes. like this is really a thing. Is the dude in the beret, but he's not trying to take Mamdani out. No, he wants to get Cuomo every time. What he said about Cuomo, that Cuomo is slapping fannies and killing grannies. Because Cuomo got put out for some sexual harassment, and we found out a lot of old people died during the pandemic in the nursing homes, and Cuomo hid it from us. And so Curtis Lee has been on his ass.
Curtis Lee would need to go on Joe and Jada.
Honestly, how have none of them tried to book? Like, it would just be amazing. Just like 45 minutes of him talking to Fat Joe. I'll watch. I swear I'll watch.
I'll start a network on that premise. Joe and Sliwa talk shop.
All these jokes we got about Eric Adams, I do think we need to stop and take a moment because I would love to direct the Eric Adams documentary. The fact that it happened at all, it is amazing that this particular man got to where he has been and almost went to jail. They accusing his aides of passing bribes in a Funyuns bag or whatever kind of chips it was that was in the bag. And he beat the rap, and he is going to walk out of the mayor's office not in handcuffs. Amazing.
Bro, amazing. Doing all the goofiest corruption scandal in the history of government. This man going to Turkey and getting first class flights. I don't know if he went there to get his veneers done or what, but not even like, yo, I'll make like $1 billion stock trading, insider trading, nothing like that, bro. I flew to Turkey and I got special treatment. Like, dog, what the fuck? And like, fam, but homie was just the literal he was like Kingpin, you know what I'm saying? For Spider-Man. Like, if Kingpin for Spider-Man became mayor of New York City and went on Ozempic.
Hold up.
That's Eric Adams.
What if he had come back from Turkey with a full head of hair?
I was expecting that, Bo. When I saw that he did not, I was disappointed. I was like, yo, my man, you pushing the boundaries of the mayoral office in every direction except this one? You can't go get the Nori? Dark Caesar, bro? Like, Nori did it. Why can't you do it? You hang out with rappers all the time. They not giving you, they gatekeeping the doctors from you?